crafty family, it's me, and today we are going to have some fun. Finally, I am able to get to the fabulous configurations box that I got from Miriam's Crafting Supplies. And let me tell you something, I have been looking forward to doing this. It's just I've been so incredibly busy, but now I'm finally getting to this fabulous box, which I cannot wait to do because it's going to be so much fun. And I hope you guys check out Miriam's Crafting Supplies because seriously, she's got the best prices on mixed media stuff. Incredible, absolutely incredible, hands down prices on mixed media stuff. Everything you could possibly think of, she's got it. And she's got these fabulous boxes and they're awesome. I mean, they are awesome. They're so cool. They're Tim Holtz, and you can take out the individual boxes and move them around and make them however you want them. You can completely omit some of them altogether. You can switch them around. You know, you don't have to keep them one way. You can do like all kinds of funky stuff. I don't know, all kinds of stuff you could do with them. I'm going to configure it. How did I decide? I'm trying to think. I think I had them switched. I think I liked this. But what I'm going to do is omit this box, which is the cool thing. I'll show you why I'm going to do this, and omit this box. And here's why. If I do that, I still have the same exact spaces in there, but I can save these boxes, and I have another one of these, and if I do basically the same thing, maybe take different ones out, I can hold on to them and create and glue them together separately and make a cool shadow box without any kind of frame, and just glue some of, like, let's say I have some of these left over, I can glue them like this and just keep it separate like that and make a cool shadow box, put a string on it where it'll hang, you know, so you could do stuff like that, which is really badass. So I don't need them in there because the space is already there. Now if I tried to take out another one, as you can see, it leaves, I can always, you know, make a faux little wall there if I wanted to. You know, you can do that too if I wanted to take an extra one out, or just do that. I can make a faux little wall like that, you know, so you can do that. You can, you know, configure it any way you want. If I wanted to like configure this further, I can put, you know, something in it to break it up as well. But it's cool because you have so many options with these boxes, and she has them, and they look like a book, which is really cool. So yeah, I just think that these are awesome. And the cool thing is, so I'm gonna do mine, you know, like this, but the cool thing is about this whole project is I'm finally going to get to use my Graphic 45 Gilded Lily paper. How cool is that? Heck yeah. So I'm finally going to suck it up, cut into this stuff, which I've been holding on to forever and don't want to cut into it, but it's going to be like cutting into my own organs every time I cut some of this paper. But we're going to use that to decorate this box because I feel that, you know, I feel this box just needs to be so gorgeous with that paper, and you know, it's going to be so much fun. And you know, I've got lots of stuff from Miriam's Craft Supplies, all kinds of metal stuff that she has that are like really cheap, and some awesome stuff. I've talked about it before, but yeah, you've got to check her out. I'm going to leave a link in the description box below, so check out her store because you will not be sorry. And she's like the most sweetest person ever. So it's always nice when you're buying something from somebody and the person that you're buying from is like super nice too, and just really, you know, great to do business with because she's just fabulous. So yeah, so we're going to work on this box. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to gesso the entire thing. And we're going to gesso it, and some of it we're going to paint, and then after we gesso it, I'm going to adhere these boxes in, or I could do it beforehand, it doesn't matter, but I'm just going to wait and do it after, and then I will hot glue these down so that they stay where they're at. So because I'm using my homemade gesso, I'm going to, of course, do a little mixing, if I could find my mixing stick. I'm going to do a little mixing because anytime you use homemade gesso, you want to mix it really well. And well, I think with any gesso, you know, you want to shake it or whatever, but with the homemade gesso especially, because it doesn't have the same exact binders in it that, you know, store-bought gesso has. So you want to take the time to give it a good stir, which I only used it a few days ago, so it's still pretty good. Yeah, I mix it every time I use it, just to be on the safe side. I just keep a dowel and then I stick it in my water thing and good to go. So I'm going to start with the boxes, and you don't really have to worry about the size. I only have to worry about the bottom part because that's the only part that's going to show. I don't have to worry about the back. I just have to worry about the lip. And I hope this is in frame. Let me make sure. Kinda, yeah. Because I tried to zoom in a little bit so you guys can see what the heck is going on. It's a little hard to remember to stay on camera, but I do my best. If I get off camera, I apologize. So I'm just gonna throw a sloppy coat of gesso on because most of it's gonna get covered up with, it's gonna get covered up with paint and then paper as well. So we're doing both paper and paint to most of the box. I'm just giving it gesso because that'll give it a good base coat for the paint to stick to well. And yeah, it's always good to gesso anything you're gonna paint. So I just wanna make sure all the lips are done. Kissy kissy lips. They're not really kissy kissy lips. And then I could set that aside. And then on this one of these sides is gonna show and the top. So I gotta make sure that that's done. Yeah, it doesn't take much to, you don't even have to gesso it really. And actually the color of it is quite nice because it's like a light tan color, so it's already got a very vintagey color to it. So really, you could really just use some distress inks around the edges and be good to go. That's the great thing about these boxes. And they're extremely sturdy. They're made of a, what were they called? Not chipboard, but like a pressed paper board, and they're like wood. They are strong boxes. They are not gonna bust, and they can hold the weight of any kind of embellishments you plan on putting in for sure. So you don't have to worry about, you know, how heavy your embellishments are, because trust me, these suckers can hold it. So if you want to watch the video and then get yourself a box and then follow the video and do like I do or do it differently, however, but you know, check out Miriam's Craft Supplies because that's where you can get them at a really good price and it'll be nice. We can do it together. On this box, it's going to show just this side here, so of course the inside I'll do, and then just that one side will be the only thing that shows as far as the outside goes. Okay, so by the power of video, I have gessoed this once and put 2 coats of my paint on it, and the paint that I chose was this that I got at my local crafty thrift store, and it was like the perfect color, like literally the perfect color, and I didn't have to mix anything, so I found that to be pretty amazing that this color is just perfect. It's a satin acrylic paint, and it's a great paint. It came out really nice. So yeah, all my boxes have been painted. I am now going to adhere them into the main box, and this is how I'm going to do it. This is how I have my setup decided. And so yeah, let's get to it. I am just going to throw hot glue on it like so, and then pop it in and hold it down for a second. Hot glue does the job because it's paper against paper, so it will do the job, which is good. I need some more hot glue. A tip, I think I've showed this before, when you're going to put your hot glue in, you know how your sticks always fall out until it really gets in there? just put a dab of hot glue on the end of your stick that you're about to replace, you know, and put it in there against the old stick, and then it'll stick. It'll be like one long stick, so you're not going to have that problem of where it doesn't catch a hold to it. So okay, then I'm going to start down here. Put a nice good glob of hot glue and hold that sucker down. Make sure that that's in there good. The next box, again, a nice good amount of the hot glue so that it stays down and adheres. And that's all there is to that. And now all my boxes are in place. I don't need to do anything else with that. It's done. So I already cut painstakingly, and bittersweet it was to cut this paper. It really, I was practically crying. But I cut it, this is my cover piece, and then I cut out this beautiful picture from the Gilded Lily, and I've got it here, and then here it says Gilded Lily, and I'm going to put that above it, and there'll be other embellishments obviously. And then for the back, I chose this blue one. It's cool because it looks almost like a wallpaper. So that's going to go on the back, and of course I'll add embellishments to it. I haven't done any of the inside, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to cut my boxes, and how I'm going to measure it is I'm going to attempt to measure it on the inside, so I'm not going to count, you know, this outer lip when I measure it. So it would be like 3.5 inches by a little bit more than 2.5, and then of course so on and so forth. And I will measure in here as well. I'm also going to put paper along the sides as well, I think. I'm trying to decide if that's what I want to do. Haven't decided on that much yet. I may do something else. I might put texture paste. I'm not sure yet, so I'm going to think about that while I'm cutting at least the bottoms of all my boxes. So I will be back when I got that all done. Bye. Okay, so I am back, and I have chosen some papers. I'm also in long sleeves because of course I'm having a cold flash. I go from hot flash to cold flash, hot flash to cold flash. It also has to do with my air conditioning, because my air conditioning either has two settings. I think I've mentioned this before. It has hell or Arctic. Those are the only settings it has. So it's either really hot in here or really cold in here. So what I've decided to do was to mat everything I put down on this dark brown paper, because I think it just makes everything pop really pretty. And this will be the cover, if I can get it to even up, which I'll worry about that when I glue it down. And then I'm going to put, and this I matted on 3 different things, or 2 different things. I have a piece of the blue paper that I'm going to use in the back, a piece of brown paper, and then this piece, and I'm going to put that there. And then I've got the Gilded Lily sign, which I'm going to put on blue and then brown and put that up there. So that's kind of how the cover will be. I'm going to add some lace and other things to it as well. And then on the spine, I'm matting it with a piece of the brown again, and it's the blue. And then the back is the, which of course now I won't be able to find it. Typical. All right, where's the blue piece at for the back? Please tell me I didn't lose it. Well, I totally did. How do I do that? As I haven't gone anywhere but here. How does that even happen? Seriously. I honestly have no clue. Oh, there it is. Somehow it disappeared. It got shoved over there. So we've got the brown, and then we've got the blue again on the back. So that's the back. And then for the inside cover, we've got this piece. I only matted it on one. I didn't do like the outside where I only did the embellishments on an extra one. But anyway, so I got this really pretty flower. Isn't that beautiful? Gorgeous. And then, let's see. I did this piece. No. What is this piece for? I don't even know anymore. Oh, that's right. This piece is matted 3 times, or 2 times. That's right. This, and it says, let us be elegant or die. And that'll go either up here or here. I'm not sure yet. I might put it up here, and then what I may do is make a little tuck spot for a tag in there and make a really pretty tag. It has to be like, it can't be really dimensional, and I realized something in the midst of all this. I have to be careful of how much dimension I have, because although the cover lets me, it looks like it'll give me a little bit of dimension, but I can't put a lot of stuff. Yeah, I can't put really anything but flat things, you know, here. And I was hoping, and I kept thinking, oh, I'm going to put lots of flowers on the edges. I can't, because I forgot about that. So, that's okay. I mean, it's totally fine. It'll still be awesome, because I do want it to close, you know. But mostly it's probably going to be displayed up like this. But still, I want the option to close it. So I have to keep that in mind. So you're going to have to remind me, no, don't put that up there, because my brain's going to go right towards putting stuff, dimensional stuff, like all right on the outside, because I'm a dingbat. Okay, so then I've got this piece that goes in here, which I'm not going to put it all the way in because I have a heck of time getting them out, but that'll be that piece. Then I've got this piece that goes in here. I've got, I don't remember what that's for. I've got this piece that goes in here. I've got this piece with the flower, which kind of matches, well, it does match the cover, will go in here. I've got this piece with the lady on it. That will go down here. And then for this one up here, which I've seemed to have lost. Nope, there it is. I don't even know why this is here. It's probably scrap. What did I have for here? It's missing. Why is everything missing? What the heck did I have for there? I did cut it. Aha. Is that it? It is. No. Yay. I gotta get this out of my face. Alright, I'm missing what I had to go there, and I believe it was... Well, hell. Which one was it? I don't remember now. It couldn't have gotten very far. Well, I guess you're just going to have to wait and see, and I'll look for it when I'm going to glue. That one will have to be a surprise, because I don't know where it is right now, but I know I cut it. So yeah, I'll find that, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue all this stuff down. I'm sure you don't need to see me do that. It's very simple. I'm going to use a wet glue, probably Mod Podge, just because... Actually, you know what? I forgot. I'm going to use clear gesso. There's a reason why I'm going to use clear gesso. Clear gesso is nice because it really dries matte. So if any of the glue seeps out, and it will dry completely matte to, to the box, which actually the box has slightly a sheen to it. So I could use matte Mod Podge because it has that same kind of almost sort of a sheen. Like matte Mod Podge is not 100% matte. It has a slight sheen like this paint. So I guess I could use the matte Mod Podge. That's true. Okay, well, whatever. Either way, I'm gluing it down with something. Gluing it down with my butt. What can I say? Whatever. It's going to be stuck down the next time I see you. That's all that matters, isn't it? So I'm going to look for that other piece because I have no idea where it went. It couldn't have gone far because, like I said, I've not done anything but do things here. Yeah, I've been painting all day. A room. I painted a room. It's not been fun. It's not been, no, not at all fun. And there's a gnat in here and it's driving me nuts. Anyway, I I guess that's it. When I come back, you will see it all covered with the paper, and then we will move on. I'm going to actually, oh yeah, I'm going to distress the edges of everything. I may even distress the edges of the brown paper with something, but I'm not sure yet. I have to test that out and see what I like. I don't know. But when I come back, that'll all be done. So, stay tuned. I'll be right back. All right, we are back. Everything is glued on. It's the next day. Because I had to go to bed at some point, so I figured I'd finish up this part and let it dry completely, which it has. Everything is glued on. I ended up only using wet glue for the background parts, back here and back here and back here. But for these parts, and I used wet for this as well. But for these parts here, I used score tape to put these on, to adhere them on. I used wet glue, not on the project, but to make the little mats for these. But then to glue the whole thing on, these things on after they were matted, I used the score tape because it was getting to the point where I was using a little bit too much wet glue and I felt like it was going to warp this too much. So that's a trick you might want to keep in mind, or not a trick, but a pointer, I guess, whatever. I would say if you're going to use wet glue, use it minimally. You can use it like to put your papers down, your basic papers down, and your backgrounds down. But I'd say if you were going to put anything else on, I would do it with score tape, double-sided tape, or like very little glue, like maybe your quick dry adhesive just on the edges or something like that, rather than complete wet gluing it. Because you got to keep in mind, this is still paper. Even though it is paper board, it is still paper. So now, on the inside, as you see, I put this fancy thing, and it looks gorgeous. Everything is adhered in. Before we start putting in any trinkets or doing anything else, what I want to do is, because I did the edge here, and I didn't do this edge yet, because what I'm thinking is for this edge in here, and for the edges of the boxes, I probably am going to go back in to all these edges with a crackle paint and then put another paint over top, maybe a cream color, and then let this pink kind of pop through in those areas. So we're going to do that, but I think for right now what I want to do is make the little pocket thing here, and I'm going to show you how to do that really easily. This is how I do things. Now, if you didn't just hear that, a bunch of crap just fell on me. But I'm going to ignore that right now. This room, I swear, is like an avalanche waiting to happen. My best friend was right when she said that they were going to find me one day buried under craft supplies, dead. Because I swear, like, everything just fell on me. Anyway, so we're going to use this middle section, which is the same, it matches this. And I'm just going to cut it by hand because I want to, I guess. And then I'm going to mat it down on 2 different mats to keep up with the theme that I have going with any of the embellishments, where I've put them on 2 mats. Hopefully that's in frame, where I have it on the brown and then another color or what have you. So I'm going to do that for this as well. First I'm going to cut it out. I try to save as much of this paper as possible, so I only cut out what I have to. And like, see, there's like a little strip right there that could be used as a tiny border somewhere, so I'm not going to cut all the way down into it because I'm trying, like, I'm going to keep that. And this is also has a little scroll on it. I don't know if you could see that. It's got like a slight little border on it. So I'm going to try to keep that intact as well, because it's graphic 45. To me, it's like the paper of all papers, and I don't like the idea of wasting it. It drives me kind of nuts. So I'm going to mat this down on, ooh, this will work, right? We could do it on the crowns and then on the brown, or on the brown and then the crowns. I think I'll do it on the brown and then the crowns. I think that will be my best bet. So how I like to measure these, to mat them, is to get my 2 edges where I want them, like that. And then I go over and I make a tiny little snip about the size of where I want it. There. Hold on to it. do it again on this side. Make a tiny little snip a little bit further away, as if I was going to cut the edge, but I'm not, because I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that with my cutter because, which I can't find right now. Where is it at? Oh boy, that's buried, huh? Get over here. Because that I want cut straight. And then all you have to do is cut on the little cuts. Cut on the cuts, and you will be good to go. And you won't have to like worry about measuring or doing anything. You can just do it that way. Because me and measuring don't get along very well. I suck at measuring, and then I'm only going to cut it where I need to cut it. So I'm going to start there because the other cut is right there. That's how you save paper, is to try and cut on only where you need to instead of cutting all the way down. And even though I've got quite a bit of this brown cardstock, I still would particularly rather just cut out what I need, and then I have this whole strip intact. So that could go on there like so. And now since we want to mat this brown one, which let me just trim that little piece off right there. My cutter blade is getting a little bit weak. So now that I want to mat the brown piece onto the little crown piece, I want to set this part aside because we don't need that, and do the same thing that I did for that piece for this piece. And this I'm going to leave a little bit more space behind and hope that it'll fit. Okay. Cut a snip there. Snip there. And then all I gotta do is cut it. Cut it at the cuts, at the snips. Snippy, snippy. And then my other cut, I just screwed that up, didn't I? No, it's fine. My other cut is, I need more room. Come on now. How many times am I gonna screw this up? Where is it? There it is. So I'm only going to cut like up to about there, and you can kind of see. If you're a little over, it's fine. I just try to preserve every ounce of this paper. And voila. And then I still have all of that left. Yes, I know I'm weird. I even save these teeny tiny pieces. Like, I don't throw away anything Graphic 45. I'm a wackadoo. Now I have this, which I can move that out of the way, and this. And I'm going to use score tape to adhere these down, just because I don't feel like sitting here with wet glue. And plus you haven't seen, you know, me score taping it yet, so I don't know, you know, in case you don't know how to score tape, I don't know. I'm sure you do. So you take this first piece, you can use whatever size will fit. I'm just going to go around the outer edge, and I'm going to use this, I guess, or should I use this? I'll just use this. And I usually pull it away from the roll and then have this much play so that I can put it down along the edge and then stretch it down to where I need to, and if there's any lumps it's fine because you can just smooth them out. And then I cut it when it comes to the edge. Well, I know you could tear it, but for when you're trying to be like specific on your edges, I would rather cut it. And then you cut. And now I've got that little edge and that little edge, so I'm just going to cut a little piece to do that. And I can literally cut this in half and put half of it here. And half of it here. And there we go. That's all I need to do. Now you want to, the trick to score tape is to burnish it down. Just press it down really good, because then it'll get a good grab so that when you go to pull up the backing, it'll, you know, it's not going to pull up the glue too, because I know that can happen. So now it shouldn't be, hold on. So now it shouldn't be an issue for me to go in and peel up the tape. And I know that it's not going to peel up the entire piece of tape. It's just going to peel up the backing. And this stuff is incredibly sticky, so you want to make sure that you lay it down not like that, don't throw it. You want to make sure you lay it down completely and perfectly where you want it to be. And it's hard to get it perfect, but that's a pretty damn good job. Now I'm going to throw away my backing papers. And now I'm going to adhere this onto this by doing the same thing, pulling enough score tape away to get a good slack so that I don't have anything in my way causing it to. And I think I went over a little bit, but that's okay. I'm going to show you a trick for that. Well, really you just cut it off. But if you only went over a tiny bit, when you peel the backing off, you can fold back the glue onto itself. But this I went a little bit too far. And I'm actually not going to, this is not going to go to waste. I am actually going to use this because it's a big enough piece for me to actually use because I screwed up that bad. Because I'm a dingbat. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to salvage it and I'm going to set it over to the side. And this time I'm going to pay attention better. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. There we go. I really wasn't paying, I couldn't see. It's hard to do things on camera. And now I'm going to use this to put in there. And I'm going to put, ooh, here's, I'll be able to show you what I mean by pushing the glue back over here. And you can literally just pull it and it just comes off. And then I could stick this little piece in the middle, just for some added glue. It says Wang Suk. Right there, Wang Suk. I don't know what that means. So now you're going to burnish it down, rub it down with your hands, make sure it's all in there, good. And now you're going to start peeling back your backing layers. If I can get my nails to cooperate, see, there I didn't peel it back, I peeled up some of it. There we go. Backing piece. A lot of people use like a craft knife. Sometimes I do, but sometimes I don't. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Almond Joy's got nuts, mounds don't. I love mounds, so good. Alright, and we'll peel up this sucker here. And we'll peel up this sucker here. Now after you peel it up, if you notice, I don't know if you can see that. Can you see this glue hanging off the side? If you have that problem where glue is hanging off the side, just take it, push it back up onto itself. It's still going to be sticky, so it ain't going to matter. See? We're all done. I don't know if that's a backing piece or not. That's fine. Okay, anywho, now get everything straight. Make sure everything's straight because I have a tendency to screw up pretty big. Now, I'm going to have to look carefully at this, so I don't know if you could see. So I got to make sure I got this straight, because this part's tricky. Alright, good enough. There we go. There's our matted piece. So I'm not going to need this thick score tape anymore, because I'm going to use the really thin 1/8 of an inch score tape to make this into a pocket. And I'll show you how. And I'm sure a lot of you know how to do this. This probably is nothing new, but for some of you who are new crafters and just started using score tape, I don't know where that came from. I don't know. It's not supposed to be there. Anyway, so we want to make this a pocket. So in order to make it a pocket, it's got to only have glue on 3 sides. The other side's got to be completely open and available for something to go in it. So in order to do that, I'm going to flip it over. Now this will be the bottom, right? Let's make sure. That side needs glue, that side needs glue, and that side needs glue. But if you use a wet glue, you run the risk of, when you press it down, it's spreading up into the inside, making your pocket like not evenly like usable, if that makes any sense, to where it's just, you know, this is like so frayed because my cutter is just going downhill. So you run the risk of the pocket not coming out nice and even. Okay, and you know, you want your pocket to be nice and even and happy. So this way, if you put the score tape just on the very edge, the tiny score tape just around the edge, your pocket's going to be even and you'll be able to put in and out your things without running into that risk of again, I pull out a whole bunch and then set it aside. I don't know if you guys can see me. Let me make sure. Ooh, barely. Sorry. And then make sure again, that's the bottom. We're going to go along the bottom. Just along the very bottom edge, like that. We're going to cut that off. That's why I don't like zooming in very much, because if I zoom in, I'm always going to go off camera. Pretty much all the time. And we're going to go up to the top. And this is just a very simple pocket. There are like lots of other ways to make pockets. I could have turned that into a pocket with a pocket. Like, there's tons of ways, but I just wanted to keep it simple. Just wanted to have a simple pocket. No fuss. We're going to burnish it down just like we did the other one. I'm going to move my score tape aside and just press down to make sure that the tape has completely adhered. I'm going to open up my book, shadow box, peel off tape. Okay, and then I'm going to lay this down where I think I want it, which is right about here. So now we have a pocket that we can stick stuff into. Little things, big things, whatever we want to. Okay, so we've got a pocket, and it goes all the way down, almost to the bottom. And you have no problem going all the way over to the side, all the way over to the side, and all the way down to the bottom. Nice, clean pocket. So, now that we have got all of that taken care of, the next thing we're going to do is, I guess we're going to put some trinkets inside. So that'll be the next thing that we are going to do, which will be a lot of fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the video and I'm going to make this part 1. So this will be part 1 where we get the base all done. So the base of this whole thing is done. So now we're going to move on to part 2, which will be the next video. And hopefully I can get that up soon, maybe by the end of the week, weekend-ish. So stay tuned for that, for our configurations Gilded Lily book. And configurations box, Gilded Lily. I don't know how I'm going to put it in the title. However you see it in the title is how it is. So look for part 2. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And make sure you do what you love and love what you do. And be nice to everybody. Why did I become an Italiano? I don't know. See you later. Love you. Mwah, mwah. Bye.